The movie Coming to America is supposed to be about an African prince coming to New York only to find his true love. And that's all according to the story that they got laid out for you. But according to how I see it, Prince Akeem is not who he portrayed himself to be. He doesn't represent a prince, but a god. As a matter of fact, his whole family, all of them, represent gods. They're not human beings. They're gods. This building where they dwell at does not just represent a kingdom or a palace, but represents their heavens. Like I said, when it comes to Prince Akeem, he does not just represent a prince, but it's symbolic for them ushering in and conditioning in you to accept the Antichrist. So one way they represent God's dwelling in their heavens, and in a symbolic way, he represents the Antichrist. Now, according to the scriptures, the prophecy is that the Antichrist will deceive many. Many will flock to him because they believe that he's going to be the Messiah, but he's going to be deceiving these people. This is what this whole coming to America is supposed to represent. The Antichrist deceiving the world, getting people to come to him by portraying to be something that he's not. Him switching out his royalty clothes into New York clothes to blend in with the people is the first sign of deceiving them. Putting the large amount of cash in the collection plate. Oh yeah, and don't forget about the setup with Samuel Jackson. This was set up for him to come in there and rob the place. He had that set up for that to happen like that. It was supposed to make him look like the hero. This is how he buys the attention of the people. It's gonna make him look like the hero, which is gonna cause people to praise him. But like I said, that's in a symbolic way of looking at it. Now, if you saw this movie many times and you listen to what I'm saying and you looking at it as for entertainment, you're not gonna understand nothing I'm saying. A lot of people looking at this movie how the writers want you to look at it. I think outside the box, and I look at it from a spiritual point of view and a whole different lens that a lot of people just don't look in. Now, let's hop off the symbolic version of him being the Antichrist and hop back on the analogy of him being a god and his family. They're all gods. So they coming to down to earth to find a woman. Why? It's not about true love, though. The so-called Prince Akeem had evil intentions of finding a woman. It was never about true love. Now, according to the movie, the reason why he didn't want to marry none of the women that his father wanted him to marry is because they were all trained to know him, to know what he likes, to know what he likes to eat, all of that. None of them was genuine. But the real reason why he didn't want to marry this woman is because she represented a goddess. Just like him, he was a god. So there's nothing he can do to her that he want to do. The scene where she's jumping up and down and barking like a dog, they showing you that's his desire. That's what he like to see. That's what he wants, but not in a goddess. See, there is no pleasure in doing that to a goddess. So the reason he came down to earth from his dwelling place is to do it to a mortal. So in other words, he didn't come down to earth to find his true love, but a slave. Because to him, these mortals are nothing but sinful creatures. When he was talking to the women in the club, it was a confirmation letting him know that all these women are sinners. The first woman said she worshiped the devil. She literally said that. And then she got the bracelet and the earrings that's supposed to represent gemstones because people to this day use this to harness energy from them. That's the power of Satan. It was even in this movie, bro. Then you had the other woman who represented one of the 7 deadly sins, gluttony, which is excessive drinking. Then you had another woman who represented money, which means that she represented the 7 deadly sin, greed. She represented pride, lust, pride. This is a man dressed as a woman. lust. She was the only person who represented the fruit of the Spirit because she represented kindness and giving, which got his attention real quick because this was a sign of weakness to him. And that is why he picked her, not because he loved her, because she was the weakest. All of my hoes to my hoes, that's for sure. All of my hoes.